Hey Stampers, Anne at Stampmaven.com here. So glad you came by today. I'm going to show you how to make this adorable little reindeer card using the cookie cutter Christmas stamp set that is found on page 6 in our new holiday catalog. This catalog, I've got to say, is one of the best ever, and you can make such cute projects. If you don't have a catalog yet and you don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to send you one, so just email me at ann@stampmaven.com and I'll get one out to you right away. What I'm using for the real red layer here is our new cable knit sweater embossing folder. I want to take a couple minutes just to show you this folder. You'll notice right away that it is larger than our regular embossing folders, and when I turn them here on this side, can you see how it is also a lot thicker? So what that is going to enable you to do is to get much more of an embossed raised image. And it's kind of funny to me that this is called the cable knit sweater, and if you have any cable knit sweaters, you know that that yarn is much thicker than regular sweaters too. The one thing you need to know about this embossing folder is when you put your paper in like this and you're all ready to run it through your Big Shot, you want to have your platform, then you put down your embossing folder with your paper, then you only need one plate. You don't want to have a plate here, your embossing folder, and then another plate. It won't go through your Big Shot that way, and if you try to force it, you just might break your Big Shot, and of course you don't want to do that. So what I've used for this project is a half a sheet of crumb cake, 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Then I've used early espresso cut to 5.25 inches by 4 inches. Then I've used a piece of the real red cardstock that is cut at 5 and 3 by 3/4. So when we're all done, these pieces are just going to layer on top of each other really nicely. So whether you keep a 1/4 inch or an 1/8 of an inch diameter, that will allow you to get perfect layers every time. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside just because I've shown you already how to use that cable knit embossing folder, and I don't want to just take a whole lot of time when I'm running that through when you already know how to do that. Now I've picked the reindeer image from this cookie cutter Christmas stamp set right here. Now you'll notice that he already has a nose, but I don't want the nose to show when I'm stamping because I want to be able to punch out this red dot from our red glimmer paper using this little, it's probably a 1/4 of an inch circle on that punch. So what I'm going to do is take my early espresso marker, and I'm going to just turn it on its side, and I'm going to start to go around with the marker on the reindeer. Now, of course, you could use your ink pad and then just take a Q-tip or a blender pen and wipe off the ink, but you have to be really careful if you do that because you want to get all of the ink off, or you'll just have like a little residual marking, and you won't be happy with that when you try to stick that real red nose on Rudolph. Okay, just want to make sure I get it all inked up. Don't want to forget the eyes. Okay, I think I got it here. Yeah, just give it a little more there. Okay, now our markers are water-based, so you want to make sure that you breathe on it to re-moisten those. Then you always want to stamp when you're using the photopolymer stamp sets on your piercing mat, which will give you a good crisp image. Okay, there I've got my reindeer. And another reason I use these markers, I don't know if you can see it here, but I missed right there on the edge with my marker when I was coloring. So I'm going to just take the fine tip edge of the marker and I'm going to just fill right in, and you won't be able to tell at all. That's another reason I love these markers. Okay, now I'm going to just use my paper snips and cut off the edge so it will fit in my punch. I'm going to turn my punch upside down and I'm going to line it up right here. Give it a good punch. And there I've got my reindeer. Isn't that cool? Okay, now I'm also, you notice here that I have my warm, heartfelt greetings for a very Merry Christmas, which is one of the sentiments in the stamp set. I have cut this piece of Whisper White cardstock at 3 by 3/4 inches, and really you can just use any size of a strip that you want for your greeting. And I've placed my sentiment stamp already on this little block, and I'm just going to ink it up with my Real Red stamp pad. Then I'm going to come right down here and I'm going to stamp that. And like I told you, one of the reasons I love these is it allows me to just get a good placement on that image. Now, to make the banner, of course, you could use one of our many banner punches or framelits, but here's a neat trick to make your own banners. You just take your paper snips, cut up the middle, then you come in from each corner up to that middle where you just cut, and there's a banner on that end, a little flag. You do the same thing on this side. And trim that off right there. Okay. Then what I would do would be to just take maybe 3 Stampin' Dimensionals that I've got right here and just stick those on here. And I cut mine in half sometimes to get more out of them, and especially on this, you don't really need 3 whole ones, so I will just do that, and then later I'll pop it on there. Then this is just a piece of our designer series paper that coordinates with that cookie cutter Christmas suite. I believe it's called Candy Cane. I didn't bring in the package here, but you'll find it in the catalog. Let's just look that up really quickly so you'll know what it is. It's right here on page 5, Candy Cane Lane Designer Series paper, and it's got these cute gingerbread men, the gingerbread houses, and then a bunch of other coordinating paper that you can use as well. And I've pre-cut this to 4 by 2 inches, and that's what will just go on my card. And basically all I do is put adhesive on each layer and start building them on top. Then I took my little reindeer here and I punched out the glimmer dot. It's about 1/4 inches. And then also what's really fun in this punch is there's this little bow tie, or if you want to make a girl reindeer, it can be a hair bow. So I just use that same paper, and you can use this side or this side. I use the stripe side because I wanted it to show off a little more. Now look here, what's so neat about this. On this card, obviously she's a little girl, and I wanted to give her a diamond tiara. Then we've got Rudolph here with his stylish bow tie. And then we have another little girl reindeer here. I put the bow up here by her ears, and then just put a few miniature pearls from our pearl jewels on there. And voila, there you've got your cards. I think this would make a really quick and neat card to send out to all your friends and family. This is actually one of my September online and in-person stamp club projects. If you don't live near me, and I live in Wiley, Texas, I would love for you to join me online. All you have to do is place an order by September 10th at my Stampin' Up website, which is annbrown.stampinup.net, and then I will send you all the consumable materials and the punched pieces already punched in order to make this card, and also the little Halloween box that I showed you in another video. If you haven't seen that video, you can do a search on my YouTube channel for Cookie Cutter Christmas Mummy, and you'll be able to find that. So until next time, happy stamping!